All right.
Yep.
Hello and welcome to this week's edition of Raider Zone. This week hosted by Dylan Zepp, and I'm joined by Kris Jacoby, Will Moyer.
Moyer.
I
days.
I definitely know all your names. And Tom Dry.
Will Myers.
Will Myers. We'll get there. It's a little hard to mess yours up. I don't know if I've ever heard a name as straightforward as yours. All right.
Yeah.
We can jump right into it this week with March Madness officially wrapping up earlier this week. Final four, we saw UConn beating Alabama 86-72. Purdue finally putting an end to NC State's magical run as they won 63-50. And then finally, championship game, UConn coming out on top to become the back-to-back champions, winning 75-60 over Purdue. Gentlemen, besides everyone's brackets being wrecked, what do we think of these Final Four games?
May I start?
Absolutely.
Okay. First I want to talk about the Final Four teams. UConn, obviously, they were there. No one thought they weren't going to be there. Alabama, I'm an Alabama fan. I've been an Alabama fan my whole life. I didn't think they were going to be there. I doubted them every single game they played, and I just wasn't expecting it. Yeah, I like this. This is a nice shirt. It's not an Alabama shirt, but it's a nice shirt.
The Alabama fan is wearing an Indiana Hoosiers March Madness shirt.
Yeah, 2002.
It's a nice retro.
What do you know about the 2002 Indiana Hoosiers?
I wasn't alive, so nothing.
Well, they beat maybe the best college team ever, the 2002 Duke team that had Shane Battier, Mike Dunleavy, Jason Williams, Carlos Boozer.
Kris Jacoby.
No.
Oh, my bad.
But yeah, look up 2002 Duke versus Indiana. Best March Madness game I've ever watched.
Right.
I doubted Alabama every step of the way, and every step of the way they proved me wrong. Nate Oates is, I think, a top 5 coach in college basketball. I think he's proved it. They've gone on quite a few runs. This was definitely not the best team that Nate Oates has had with Alabama. Teams they had with Herb Jones, so much better. But Mark Sears was so good. Do you guys agree? Mark Sears, excellent.
If I knew who it was, I could probably agree.
Okay, well, Mark Sears was he was the most outstanding player of that region, and so you guys seen the stat where UConn only trailed like 4 minutes the whole tournament.
Yes.
Alabama is to blame for most of those minutes. So we were the best challenge for UConn in the whole tournament. But UConn was they're just too good.
They were UConn. They were on the momentum beyond belief there.
Yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, UConn made it to the championship, and then on the other side, I kind of flipped on Purdue. I don't hate Purdue very much anymore. I don't like their fans. I don't like Matt Painter, but I respect Zach Edey a whole lot now. I think he, in the second half of the championship game, I think he was just trying to do like everything because no one else for Purdue was helping him at all. But I think Zach Edey, all-time college basketball player, just an exceptional career. Especially this season, he became a really skilled big man, which he wasn't in years prior. I think Purdue, I don't know if they've ever made it to the championship before. Sadly, they had to run into one of the best college basketball teams, maybe the best college basketball team of the 21st century, probably second best to Florida. Like college basketball, like 2-season run, like it's crazy what UConn has done. Really insane. And NC State too. Great little run they had.
Who called that?
Yeah, Tom Dry called that.
All right, good job, Tom.
I don't know how. I did not expect that, but
I do remember they had the crazy momentum coming out of their division tournament because they won their tournament, didn't they?
Yes, that was the only reason they made. They wouldn't have gotten in if they didn't win their conference.
Yeah.
Yeah, that insane run by them. They played, what is it? Did they play 5 straight games in 5 days in the ACC tournament?
Yes.
And then they went and made it to the Final Four.
It's a lot of basketball.
Crazy.
Hey, man. Shout out UConn.
Yeah,
they
UConn.
won me some money.
Yep,
and
I did.
Part of that money is yours.
I got too cute.
Yours. I don't think you were in it. but it was part of Dylan's and Will's money that is
Yeah.
now in my pocket.
You didn't invite me.
Congrats, bud.
That's
That was
Congrats.
Ramsey.
That's Ramsey's fault.
That's Ramsey's
If
fault.
Jamal
Ramsey, if you're listening, you're a bum. No, I'm just kidding. I love you,
Wow.
Ramsey.
if Jamal Shed wouldn't have gotten injured,
Oh,
who knows what
Houston-
would have
Houston-
happened?
Dude,
Who knows? Because
Houston
Houston
would've
was
been-
so good and they were my championship.
they
pick.
would have been in the title game. Book
I
it.
believe so.
And
But
Tennessee,
Jamal Shed got injured.
and Tennessee was close to.
That was a great
topping
game.
Purdue.
That
Like,
was
I
a
was
great
pulling
game.
for him so hard. But I mean, speaking of Zach Edey, yeah, you can't deny he's one of the greatest college basketball players of all time. Even though it's hard to watch him sometimes because he's just. I get it. You just don't like to watch guys who draw fouls every single time they're inside the paint or they're just laying it up over guys. But still, like you said, he developed some skills this year. He has great vision for a big man. I would say that.
I think one of the games he had like 5 or 6 assists, which really surprised me.
And obviously, he's going to be a premier defender with that height inside the paint. But just speaking of UConn here, I think they did the right thing. This is the recipe. Obviously, Zach Edey's gone now. He's graduated. He's done. But the key to success would be to let Edey do his thing, but limit everybody else.
Yeah, they made
That's what
1
Ohio
3
State
the
did.
entire game.
Yeah, you limit everybody
Insane.
else. You limit their three-point shooting. You don't let anyone besides Zach Edey dominate you. You're going to be okay.
Purdue was the best 3-point shooting team in the entire country throughout the whole season, and UConn's defense limited them. I think they only took like 7 or 8 threes, and they only made 1 3 the entire game. Like, just insanely good defense. Just a complete team. Dan Hurley. Is he the best college basketball coach right now?
Yeah.
Like,
And
I don't know who else it would
NBA
be.
teams are after him, but he's made it clear he's staying.
Yeah.
Why not? You're going to build a dynasty.
Do we want to talk about Coach Cal and Kentucky and
I
Make
think
it.
we can definitely talk about that.
can we
Go
just
ahead.
can we
Just
transition into
yeah,
that real quick
go
because
ahead. Yeah, we got
this I think it was the right time for him to leave Kentucky because they just have been bad. Like,
Yeah.
to Kentucky standards, they've been terrible. Lost again in the first round. Just can't happen. Arkansas really surprised me though. I wasn't expecting him to go to Arkansas of all places.
They have one player on the roster.
Yeah.
He's like, I talked to the team.
There's
There's
no
one
team.
guy in there.
Yeah.
He's in the portal actually, but he's still there.
Oh my gosh.
That's what's wild.
Yeah.
Is that actually true? They only have like one guy.
Yes, they only have one
Because all the
player on
seniors and
scholarship.
transfers.
Yes.
What about walk-ons? They still have walk-ons probably.
I don't know.
I'd imagine.
So they
But
probably
still.
have. I get what you're saying though. They
Yeah.
probably only
Yeah,
have.
they really have no. He's gonna have to build from the ground up.
Honestly,
there.
that sounds
And-
fun.
What's
I
crazy?
don't. No, it does not. That sounds
It's-
like
No,
terrifying.
why not? There's no pressure for him at Arkansas.
I know you.
Yes,
tried.
there is. I mean, it's still an SEC school.
It
Like,
is,
if he
but
doesn't
not
start
like the
winning,
first
if he
few
doesn't start
years.
winning within 3 years,
Okay, that's fair.
people are gonna be like, I mean, Cal's lost.
He's
He's
cooked.
lost his fastball. Like, it wasn't just his time had run up at Kentucky. Like, it was time for him to be done. But I don't know. I think he could be good at Arkansas. Arkansas hasn't been good recently, but they used to be a really good program. Won the national championship in 1994.
I think it's crazy though that he said that that he called him a blue blood. Like
No.
I know that he was trying to like get
Yeah.
the fan base riled up, but the fact that he called Arkansas a blue blood was like laughable to me.
Yeah, no.
Are there any blue bloods that aren't actually blue? Like, I'm trying to run through the list of blue bloods in my head. UConn, Kansas, Kentucky, UCLA,
UCLA.
Duke. They're all blue.
Is Indiana still? I don't
Creighton.
know.
Creighton's a blue blood now. I'm
No, they're
gonna lie.
not.
No,
they're
I
not.
don't know about blue bloods.
have
Akron.
to-
Akron's a blue blood.
Okay.
All right,
So,
we can start tuning Chris out.
We might as well call John Carroll one now if you're talking like that. That's crazy.
All
All right, I was joking, but go ahead.
Yeah.
I think they might all be blue actually,
They're all
which is
blue.
pretty funny.
They're blue on the men's side. I think we're good to bounce over to the women's
Okay.
side now, however.
Well, I want to talk about
You
like
wanna-
who
you
was
wanna
going to
learn
get
a little
the Kentucky job.
Okay, that's
Who's
fair.
gonna get
Because that's the other half of it.
I
gonna
have
get
seen
it?
this because there was something about everybody's.
Yes.
Nobody wants it, right?
No, I mean
Yeah.
Scott Drew declined it. Nate Oates declined it. Billy Donovan probably is not going to come down and get it. Who else? There was like Dan Hurley. I really don't think he's going to leave.
He said no. He made that clear.
Yeah. And there was one other hot name for it. But I don't know. They're I think my prediction is that it's gonna be Bruce Pearl, the Auburn head coach.
It's a good one.
I think he has done a great job at Auburn, who isn't like a historic program. He also did a great job at Tennessee before he got fired there for he didn't even pay players. He like had players over for like a barbecue or something and like gave them a t-shirt or something, and then it got blown out of proportion.
NCAA's wild for all that stuff, man.
Yeah, so Bruce Pearl has like won pretty much everywhere he's gone. I think he would be a really good fit. He's been in the SEC his last 2 jobs. I think he should be going there, but who knows? He might not want to go either. But somebody's gonna want to take the job. I mean, it's not like it's Duke where the program is like their last coach, like with Coach K. Kentucky they've been Kentucky forever. They should be able to get somebody. I kind of thought Scott Drew was gonna go, but he must really like it at Baylor. I thought Billy Donovan maybe too, but I don't know. I think Bruce Pearl. That's my prediction.
All right. Are you ready for the women's?
We can
Yes.
pass over to the women's, where South Carolina secured a 39-0 record, completely undefeated all year, went all the way through March Madness, officially won the title, and it also ended Caitlin Clark's collegiate career with a loss. So I want to get your guys' opinion on what's the bigger storyline. Clark's collegiate career coming to an end, not just on a loss, but the fact that it's officially over, one of the greatest women's basketball players of all time, or the fact that South Carolina went completely undefeated.
I would say it's like, well, undefeated women's seasons has happened before. Like I don't know exactly what year, but I know UConn did it in the 2010s at least once.
They went back to back 6 times.
Yeah, I think they might have went like 2 straight seasons undefeated, if I'm not wrong. So it's not really like, I mean, it is crazy that South Carolina did. I think from like last season or 2 seasons ago, they lost all 5 starters. So like with this like brand new team that they have, I mean, crazy dominance. But I think Caitlin Clark is the bigger story. Maybe it shouldn't be, but I mean, just one of the best scorers in women's basketball history. Just insane. That the Iowa and UConn game I was more excited for, honestly, than the championship game, because I kind of felt like I knew South Carolina was so good that they probably will win, and I was scared that Iowa like wouldn't even be able to really compete with them, and they did. They made it a good game, but I thought that the Final Four game between Iowa and UConn was better. But yeah,
that's I'm gonna say shout out to South Carolina,
yeah,
for sure. But Caitlin Clark, I would say that's the bigger storyline, because look at what she did for women's basketball. She's grown basketball as a sport just in general, like around the world. I mean, for little girls, for older women, and I would say she's even impacted it for men too. Like, she's had so much impact on the game, what she's done. The WNBA, so for the Indiana Fever, first overall pick, they're going to draft Caitlin Clark. We know this.
Yeah.
They have 36 national televised games out of their 40 next season.
That's awesome.
The WNBA's ratings are going to be unreal next year, and it's going to be growing. And I would love to see Cleveland get a team back. If Cleveland can get a WNBA
Cleveland
team
Rockers, bring them back.
And I would be excited to go to games, because women's basketball is growing. It's always been huge in college, but the WNBA, I feel like with Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, it's about to take off. And you can't even forget Cameron Brink as well. So
Is Juju Watkins, is she going to the NBA or WNBA, or is she staying?
2 more years.
Dang, really?
No. No, she's going to stay another year. She's probably going to stay 1 or 2 more years.
Okay.
I'll say that.
Don't forget Haley Van Lith.
She was not very good. She got cooked by Caitlin Clark.
It doesn't matter how you play.
She's transferring again.
Yeah, I was going to say, that was the girl answer to the transfer portal from LSU, right?
Yeah, she's transferring again.
That one's for Jason Sank.
She's coming to Mount.
Right, that's fair.
Is Paige Bueckers?
Bueckers?
Is she declaring?
She's staying 1 more year, I think.
Let's go.
That's going to be huge for UConn.
Yeah.
Watch out. UConn, South Carolina next year.
Yeah, great tournament.
All right.
lot of great games.
March Madness officially wraps up. UConn back to
Sad.
back.
I'm so sad. I'm gonna miss college basketball for the next 6 months.
Dude, it's the best time of the year. You have baseball, you have basketball.
October's the best time of the year.
October's pretty good.
October's good.
October
But,
clears.
Dude,
No.
you have hockey too.
October's the best sports month. That's a whole nother debate, though.
I mean, I'm not sad that like just March Madness is over. I'm just sad that like the whole college basketball season is over because it's my favorite. It's the only thing I really, really care about. I mean, I care about other sports, but I just love college basketball more than anything else.
I can believe it with this shirt you got on here.
Yeah, 2002 Indiana.
Well,
shout out AJ Moyer. Blocked Carlos Boozer with 2 minutes to go to win the game.
College basketball may be over. However, the NBA itself, not yet over. In fact, I believe the Cavs themselves
Sometimes
have
I wish it was
left.
over.
I get the sense that may be a theme here. So we're about, a week away from play-in tournament? Or when's the play-in tournament?
Play-in tournament is Thursday.
Thursday.
So a week from today.
Yeah, a week from today.
And
we're
then
recording this Thursday the 11th. So we're real close.
Is it Thursday? It's the 16th. Maybe.
If it's the 16th, then
it's Wednesday.
That's Tuesday.
Okay,
Next
I
Tuesday.
apologize. It's on Tuesday.
Oh, we're less than a week away from play-in then.
Sunday is the last regular season games. Tuesday is the play-in, and then Saturday is the start of the playoffs. Yeah. I mean,
so,
are any of us excited for the Cavs at all?
Right now, I would say no, but at the end, I know we're going to talk about standings here, but the way it's looking like...
I don't even know if we can talk about standings.
They're going to
because the Cavs could get the 2nd seed or the 7th seed.
No, it's the 6th seed. That's the lowest they can go right now. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure.
I think they can get the 7th. I looked today. There was a
that's
graphic that
it's
said
like
they
the
can
wildest
get
scenario, though.
Well, yeah.
But
it is possible.
Here's what it's going to be, though. It's going to be they're either playing the Magic, Pacers, or Knicks. I'm confident against the Magic because they're so inexperienced, and I think Donovan Mitchell could will us over. But if we're probably going to play the Bucks round 2, or I meant the Celtics round 2.
Oh, gosh.
And that's just going to be a 4-game sweep or a 5-game gentleman sweep, and JB's gone. If we play the Knicks or Pacers, I think the Pacers would go to 7, and it's up in the air. And as for the Knicks, we would get knocked out first round. To answer the question, I don't see him going too far. At max, the 2nd round or a first-round exit. And JB Bickerstaff will be gone if they don't go to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Woohoo!
Which is good because we need to do coaching bad.
I have seen that sentiment a lot. I feel like he's fallen out of favor a lot.
It's bad, and this is another thing. You're either going to have to trade one of your guards likely, and I have a feeling Donovan might request a trade, but he might not. He seems the only one who seems to really care out there right now. And and Mobley does. Mobley, he's the guy you're going to build around. He's going to be an MVP candidate in a few years. Mm-hmm. So you got to build around Evan Mobley. I feel like, honestly, if you trade Donovan, you have Darius. You trade for maybe get a Trey Murphy and a Herb Jones in a deal. You're set at wing. Then maybe bring back Okoro. I mean, you have Strus at the 2.
I like Okoro. Okoro has had a good year.
Oh, he's had a sensational career year.
Yeah.
LeVert.
I don't know.
LeVert as a 6
He can stay
man.
or go. I don't really mind.
He might
I never was too high on him.
I don't know. This offseason will be interesting. That's for a whole nother episode, though, when we're out of the playoffs and have trade.
So for sure, besides JB Bickerstaff, the actual players themselves, you want there to be change?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I can't wait another year, and I don't think the front office can. I get injuries ruined this year, but injuries happen to every damn team, so.
Yep.
That's just the way it is.
Yeah.
I don't care. I'm done with it, so.
Yeah. Okay. But, I mean, I'm excited for the playoffs anyways. I
do want to run.
I love watching playoff basketball.
I don't watch much NBA. I'll be completely honest.
Yeah, I don't watch a lot of regular
I'll tune
season.
into regular season or postseason basketball all the time.
In the Western Conference, we're getting another Clippers Mavericks series, which I'm so excited. Even not even as a Clippers fan, this is going to be the 3rd time in the last 5 years, and it's just every time they play, it's so many crazy moments. I love this.
I love top 3 right now. It's either going to be the Nuggets, Timberwolves, or
Thunder. Nuggets and Timberwolves played last night. I was kind of watching that game a little. Man, those 2 teams, really, really good. Both those teams are really good, and Karl Anthony Towns is going to be returning for the Timberwolves.
They're going to be a Western Conference Finals team, I feel like.
If we get a Nuggets Timberwolves Western Conference Finals, I will be very happy because that game last night that I watched was like down to the wire.
And they didn't even have Cat.
Yeah.
Just wait till they get Cat. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah. I'm really. I mean, I love the playoffs. I'm excited.
Okay, go ahead and run down the standings here. So the Celtics have taken the Eastern Conference by a large amount. They're currently, as we're sitting here, 13 and a half games up on the Bucks, which makes the Bucks in second, followed by the Knicks, Cavs, Magic, then the Pacers, 76ers, and Heat. A bit behind the Heat, but still in play-in positions, are the Bulls and the Hawks. Then in the Western Conference, much closer with the Nuggets, Timberwolves, and Thunder separated by a single game, Nuggets having that game advantage, followed by the Clippers, Mavericks, Pelicans, Suns, Kings, Lakers, and to wrap it up, the ever-present Warriors. What a great team that we've seen.
That West is wild for that 6th spot.
Lakers and Warriors are locked into the play-in, and then Pelicans, Suns, and Kings all can still get that 6th seed. It's like kind of a 3-way race for them. Clippers, Mavericks locked into that 4 and 5, and then those top 3 teams are locked into the top 3. Yeah,
Let's go. Final 2 games.
I'm very excited. And that second round matchup between two of those 3 top teams, if they do end up winning their series, that's going to be great. Because the Thunder, I really like the Thunder's team this year. Gilgeous-Alexander. Great.
Jalen Williams. Both Jalen Williams.
Both of
Chet
them.
Holmgren.
Chet, yeah. Chet is he's kind of gone like under the radar, I think, but he's had a really, really nice season. Yeah.
I think we'll definitely go into it more in the following weeks, but just right now, quick prediction.
It's tough to talk about it because we don't know the matchups, and it's like so much can change in these last like 2 or 3 games.
Just right now, quick prediction off the top of your head. Who's taking the title?
Boston?
We got a Boston from Tom.
I lied. They're going to lose in the Eastern Conference Finals again.
To who?
To who?
No, I'm just curious. Like, to who? I mean, I wouldn't be surprised.
The 76ers?
No, I wasn't going
to. No, he's not. He's not delusional.
Low key.
He's going to say Milwaukee.
No, I'm not. Listen. I may go Knicks.
Okay.
Ooh.
That's a sleeper.
Thing is, they just won't be fully healthy because Randall's out for the year. Anunoby, he's like been.
All right, the Magic then.
Magic.
Okay.
Tom just doesn't want to say Milwaukee.
Yeah, for real.
It's going to be
I don't like
Boston.
Milwaukee. Doc Rivers is a fraud.
It's going to be
True.
Boston out of the East.
I don't trust Doc Rivers in the playoffs whatsoever.
What Doc Rivers has done to this team over the past 2 months is atrocious.
Well, I would say I would go with the basic pick, the Nuggets back to back, but screw it, I'm on the Timberwolves train. Timberwolves all the way.
Yes.
Yeah. The thing about those top 3 seeds, obviously Nuggets have the experience and the Timberwolves and Thunder kind of don't. So that is kind of the reason you would pick the Nuggets over those other 2. But
exactly.
My finals prediction is currently Thunder versus Celtics. Celtics winning.
And how many? 6?
Sure. I don't know.
I have Thunder over Celtics. Not Thunder.
7. Let's say 7 because I would rather a 7-game series.
I have Timberwolves over Celtics in 7.
Wow. Anthony Edwards?
Yep. Ant-Man. He's going to show why he's going to be the face of the league.
You don't think
one of the faces.
You think Cat could maybe like have a little bit of rust and hold them back a little going into the playoffs?
It's possible. We'll find out.
I don't know. They have so much momentum right now, and to throw him in.
But
I feel like
look
that kind
what
of
he can do though.
Sometimes that doesn't work with teams.
Yeah, we'll see though. We'll have to wait and see. Let's find out.
Yeah.
Let's ride, Timberwolves. Let's ride.
Yeah.
The best part is I can make my prediction safely without knowing anything that's happened this season, and just say Cavs over Clippers in 4.
What?
Let's go.
You just go with it.
I would be so happy with that.
If that happened,
finals.
if that happened, I would type JB Bickerstaff a whole essay forgiving him.
Just an apology.
Just a whole apology.
I feel like you may not be the only Cavs fan to do that, Ben.
All right.
I think that will wrap up the NBA, and we will obviously follow that as the playoffs start. For now, we can jump over to Major League Baseball, which I haven't been on since before opening day even. I don't know how much you guys have talked about in the past 2 weeks.
We didn't have a show last week.
Oh, we didn't have a show. Even more. All right. So we got a lot to talk about then.
Yep.
I figure we jump right in with our hometown, not Tom's, but obviously everybody else's Cleveland Guardians. Past 2 weeks has seen a lot of action. Cleveland Guardians currently sit with the second best record in the AL at 9-3, only behind the Yankees, who
we're
going to
sweep.
I would love the sweep.
Well, let's sweep. Why not?
We'll be there. We'll all be there at one point.
There will be people there from this podcast.
All three of us.
Three out of the four.
Tom, you just got
Tom's
Tom.
chilling.
You just got Tom being dry. And
Who knows? Maybe Tom will be out in Pittsburgh, which we can talk about next. But
they're playing well.
They are playing very well. Guardians at 9-3.
Our Pittsburgh correspondent.
They have one of the top 10 offenses in baseball.
We have the best run differential.
We do
right now.
That's the big thing here. We have the best run differential in baseball.
We did play the Athletics.
Still,
but
even then, we did what we were supposed to do, and we annihilated them.
Yes.
I know, Chris. I know you want to talk about Quan, and I think you had some more you wanted to talk about too.
Let's talk about Stephen Quan.
Let's talk about Stephen Quan. I'd be happy to.
All right, let me start it off, and I'll let you top it off. All right. So, here's what I got for Stephen Quan. Let's talk about his percentiles. All right. So as we know, he is a Gold Glover. He's going to be in race with Andres Jimenez for Platinum Glove this year. Stephen Quan, his percentiles. He's in the 100th percentile in fielding for arm value. For base running value, he's in the 99th percentile. Fielding run value, 96th percentile. And batting run value, 74th percentile. And he has a whiff. In the whiff percentage percentile, he's in the 99th. He does not strike out. He does not whiff. He has to have the best plate discipline in all of baseball. And he's one of the best contact hitters now as he's leading the league in batting average at 380. Is it 386?
It was 386 going into yesterday. He went 2 for 4, so it went up.
That's his jersey number. He's batting his jersey number.
Yeah, so... Yeah,
38.
38. So, there we go. And go ahead, Will.
I don't know. I just love Stephen Quan. I mean, he's just... I've loved him. His rookie year, I really enjoyed him. He was... he was my favorite player his rookie year. That was 2 seasons ago when they made the playoffs. And the last year he had a little bit of a down year, a little sophomore slump, but this season he is having this is better than his rookie year so far. I mean, obviously we're only 12 games in.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know baseball a whole lot. I just like listening to Tom Hamilton call the Guardians.
That's 100%
But
go Guards.
And Stephen Quan has 2 home runs. I have to add that. He almost has 3.
He almost has 3. Yesterday's game, which was when Bo and Josh Naylor hit home runs in the same inning.
Let's talk about the bros.
Yeah. They went insane. Quan went solo, almost went solo twice. This past series against the White Sox continued to prove Josh Naylor is the White Sox killer. And now joining him is Bo Naylor. The duo, for the second time in their careers, went deep in the exact same inning.
Yep.
How many other times has that happened? Like with other brothers?
Other brothers. BJ and Justin did it once, and then I know there was another pair that did it. I forget who the other pair was. Okay. But this is the second time the Naylors have.
It's awesome. It's so cool.
It's beautiful. And
do you guys think Bo Naylor should be all-time starting catcher ahead of Hedges, please? Can we please have that?
It's a hard argument to make right now because Bo has been in a serious funk. His fielding's been a little off. His base running,
really?
And his base running was bad.
And can help him with the fielding part and the framing. Austin Hedges.
Yep.
He's going to be a fantastic coach.
Yeah, that's the thing. He will be the all-time catcher at some point this season.
I just really dislike Hedges. Every time I hear him up to the plate,
vibes.
I get so annoyed. I'm like, this is an out. This is a double. He's going to ground into a double play.
Then he will get some random base hit or home run.
And that's the thing. Yeah. You have Bo Naylor. He is going to be our catcher for the foreseeable future. To help him with the catching, you have Austin Hedges, who is just stat-wise, not even just eye test-wise, he is numbers-wise the best defensive catcher in baseball right now, by a good margin, too. Yeah. You have Sandy Alomar, Cleveland royalty, as that first base coach, able to help him as well. And then who else but our new manager, Stephen Vogt, longtime catcher. You got 3 very well veteran catchers ready to help Bo Naylor in his second full season in baseball. He will be the full-time catcher. It's a question of when he takes over, and by that time he takes over, have he and Josh completely broken every record for brothers at that point? Because that's where we're on pace for right now.
Why not?
Yeah, and speaking of White Sox killer, I have some numbers here that I'm taking from my article.
We had another White Sox killer last season.
He's got his article.
A knockout punch.
So we got Bo Naylor emerging as a White Sox killer himself, but Josh Naylor has a career 354 batting average with a 970 OPS and 6 home runs, 29 RBIs, and 20 extra base hits against the White Sox. That is just unreal.
I love owning the White Sox. It is just so fun. It's so fun.
We have Naylor's owning them with the baseball and Jose Ramirez owning them in other ways, and every single way it's beautiful.
And 2 seasons ago when we stole the division from them.
That did happen. It's all beautiful.
Yeah.
I think the Guardians themselves too. So I mentioned earlier, they've come out as a powerful offense, a top 10 offense.
I did not expect.
No one expected that.
No.
No one should have expected that. Instead, we've come out, and I got a list of hitting statistics here. We're not top 10 in home run, which was expected. We're still we're tied for 18th right now with 11 home runs, having hit 3 yesterday. We are 12th in slugging, which is pretty well correlated with home runs. Not surprising.
Yeah.
We are tied for 11th with doubles. We're right outside the top 10. We have 21
12th
doubles.
and 11th are not
I
bad.
see nothing
That's
wrong
good
there.
for the Guardians, man.
And then the one thing that does throw me off a little bit, we're tied for 28th in walks. I'd like to be
Really?
annoyed, but I can't because of what the offense has done so
Yeah.
far. I don't know if that's people swinging more, if that's a different mentality at the plate. Either way, it's working because we are top 10 in average, runs batted in, stolen bases, runs total, on-base percentage, on-base plus slugging, hits, triples. We're technically 24th in strikeouts, but that flips, so we have the 24th least strikeouts. So that's even better. Then to top it off, we are first in the small ball numbers, as small as you can get. We are first in sac flies with 8. We are first in sac bunts with 4. We are first in hit by pitches with 16. The second place has 11 hit by pitches. We have 16. Fry got one yesterday. Laureano's now at 5.
And Jimenez is just
Jimenez
a magnet.
is at 4.
He's just a magnet.
That's crazy.
I like it. The small ball is working, and it's
He's getting hit by pitch
But
every
here's the
3
thing:
games.
it's not
Yeah.
just small ball anymore. As the last few games,
no. It like
we've seen
we hit
home
3
runs.
It-
We're getting a lot of extra base hits, and it's hard contact. We're not
Yeah.
weak contacting stuff.
And seeing that happen at home too, that's a great sign. Because
Quan-
you're playing 81 of your games at home, and
Yeah.
if you're hitting well at home,
that's huge.
you'll be a good team.
If Quan develops power, he becomes our new perennial MVP candidate too.
Yes.
How's this title, everybody?
Just for reference, I'll read
What's
it
up,
out.
brothers?
Corner coverage. What's up, brother or brothers? Naylor Power propels the Cleveland Guardians to a series victory over the Chicago White Sox. I can't think of a better
I love
title.
that.
It's beautiful.
That's a great title.
And that's just the offense.
What's up, brother?
The pitching, and this is the slight issue with the pitching future.
Oh,
Shane
yeah.
Bieber, obviously, goes down, and he's one of many pitchers recently with pitching injuries. And
It's wild.
we can talk
It's
about
wild.
that in a little bit here.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
And-
even then, overall for pitching, this is today's statistics. I got bullpen from Tuesday. However, today, in the Major League Baseball, we are 4th in ERA. We are very close behind 2nd and 3rd. I forget what teams they are. And then the Red Sox have like a flat 2 ERA right now. I cannot explain what's happening, what devil magic they're channeling.
Jacob
into their pitching.
Bataru out there, man.
We are 4th in strikeouts, and I will point out, just like the offensive statistics, which I forgot to point out, LA and San Diego are ahead of us in most of the offensive and into the strikeout category,
Wow.
and they have had extra games because they started the season early in
Yeah.
Korea. So
True.
you can disregard that. The Red Sox are only 4 ahead of us for what should be actually first place in strikeouts. And then we are 2nd place in strikeouts through 9 at just over 10 strikeouts through 9 innings. Again, behind the Red Sox because I don't know what devil magic they're channeling. Then these numbers are from the game before Tuesday. So this is before Scott Barlow gave up 2 runs. Guardians bullpen ranks in the American League. 1st in ERA, 1st in whip, 1st in strikeouts, 1st in strikeouts through 9, 1st in strikeout percentage, opponent average. We have 11 holds, 1st in home runs through 9, and that hasn't changed because the bullpen is not allowed a home run. 2nd in FIP, and 4th in saves.
Wow.
That was from Tuesday. The ERA may have ticked up slightly from Scott Barlow having another detonation on the mound, unfortunately, and giving
Yeah.
up 2 runs Tuesday evening. But we had a lot of bullpen innings Tuesday. We had a lot yesterday when we went into extras, and Bybee came out through 4 1/3. So it may have gone down, actually, with how insane this bullpen has been. It is the best in the AL. It is, I think, statistically now the best in the NL as well. It's just
Yeah.
insane. And this is with injuries.
Yeah.
We have Stefan out for the year, but we will get Henches back, we'll get Xavier Curry back, and Ben Lively, who might have to fill a rotation spot with Bieber down. We'll see where that goes. But either way, these Cleveland Guardians are off to an insane start.
Yeah. I don't love that the bullpen is having to pitch so many innings.
No, that's the one
because
issue.
that it's good now, but it is not gonna.
Mid-July, that's an issue.
Yeah. But I mean, it's good. I mean, you can't be mad about your bullpen being great. But
No.
I would rather them not have to pitch so many innings. But that's just how it is. And Clase has not allowed a run.
True.
And that double
That's
play
great.
was
He
huge.
got very close, but
Oh my
that
gosh.
double play last night from Rocchio was beautiful.
Yeah, I saw the highlight this morning because I didn't watch the game. I was just listening to it. But wow, great play. Heads up play.
Yeah.
We'll see if the offense can continue this going forward. We'll see if the bullpen can continue it with this amount of innings. Pitching will need slightly addressed because we're down to 4 starters right now. We'll get Gavin Williams back, I think, near the end of the month. Either Xavion Curry or Ben Lively will take in that 5th role. First time we'll need a 5th pitcher is on the 16th. So we'll see who they move to then. Until then, I'm so happy with this Guardians team. I couldn't ask for anything more right now. It's beautiful.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. Do we want to hop over from the team at the top of the AL Central to the team at the top of the NL Central?
The NL Central, absolutely. Mr. Tom Dry.
That's all Tom.
I'd love to.
Take it away, sir. And the only thing I had written down to mention here was David Bednar having a little bit of issues, but
Yeah.
that
Do we want
we'll see.
Yikes.
You can just go in the stats first, then we can talk about Bednar.
Stats?
We
All
let
right.
Tom cook.
I'll be brief. Connor Joe, dog, 324 batting average. Brian Reynolds, 10 RBIs, dog. On base percentage, Connor Joe, 444, dog.
I feel like Tom likes dogs.
K. Brian Hayes, 15 hits, dog. Dude, listen. I was joking when I said the power of friendship Pittsburgh Pirates may beat the Los Angeles Dodgers in the NL playoffs. Dude, if they play like this, they can beat anyone. And I'm gonna get real delusional.
That's what it's all about.
Couldn't ask for anything
That's what
more.
being a sports fan is all
It's
about.
week 2 of baseball. You
Being
can't ask-
delusional.
The Steelers have let me down so much in the past couple of years. The Penguins have let me down. I never thought I'd say this, but my money's on the Pirates. This makes me happy. It makes me so happy. I'm actually tearing up thinking about it because I've waited so long for a good baseball team in Pittsburgh. But, with the good, there is bad. Jack Sawinski, he's batting under 200. If we could get him up to about 240, we'd be chilling. Henry Davis can't hit the ball at all, but I had high expectations for him. The way he's playing right now, I'd rather have Austin Hedges. But because at least, Austin Hedges is a very good,
Framer.
Yeah.
Catcher,
yeah. But we'll with how we're playing right now, we'll live with it. We'll get through it. Mitch Keller, his ERA trash. It's almost 5.3.
He does
but
have something to be decided right now.
yeah, but like when he finds his stuff, he's different. But that's been the issue over the last couple of years. Him actually finding his stuff and keeping having good control. But like you mentioned earlier, my boy David Bednar, the Pittsburgh native, he makes me sad. It's still early. I don't know what's happening. I guess
Did he
his command
just
isn't
come back
great.
from injury or something?
He did miss a decent part of spring break. I think it was a lat.
Oh.
I believe so.
Yeah.
But regardless, he did miss some time. So I think he'll be fine. It's just right now I think we ought to sit him for a little bit. Give him time to actually get back into baseball shape. And we have a Aroldis Chapman.
Yeah,
I
I looked at that. Aroldis Chapman's still playing?
Yeah, and he's
Whoa.
playing good. He's got 4 holds for us this year.
Okay.
His
I didn't know that. I didn't know he was still playing. I saw him on there. I was like, "Is that the same Aroldis Chapman?"
Yeah, no,
Wow.
He's pitched in 6 games, hasn't given up a run.
Hmm.
So only 4 1/3 pitched, but we'll take it. He does have a save, so I don't know. I would like to see him moved from the setup man to the closer for I don't know, maybe a couple of weeks just to give Bednar a chance to maybe get out of his own head. That could be the issue where when you're down in the slump, sometimes you just need to step back and reevaluate everything. But he's a dog when he's healthy. He showed that the last couple of years. But the Renegade will get back to business. We'll start cooking. We'll keep cooking actually, and You know, if the Pirates make the playoffs, I don't care what it costs. I'll find a way. I will be there.
It won't be
at
expensive,
PNC.
Tom. Trust me, you'll probably be like, you'll get a decent seat. Like, it will be up there, but you'll probably get a decent seat for $80, $90. That's what I did for the Guards a few years ago, and they're about the same market as the Pirates.
Yeah, but see, here's the thing. You guys, much more often than us, have a good baseball team. It's been it's been almost a decade since we
They
made
might
the
jack your
playoffs.
prices for that.
Supply and demand.
Yeah. The demand for those things will be
Yeah.
crazy. Like, see, here's the thing. Like, when the Pirates are good, like, I mean, we show up. Like, everybody remembers 2013 with Johnny Cueto.
Is Andrew McCutchen still on the team?
Kutch is still on the team.
Thank God.
This is Kutch's
He's my
last
favorite.
ride. This is Kutch's last
He's
ride.
my favorite. I remember he was on the SportsCenter top 10 like every single morning when I was growing up, and he became like, I don't know why, I really liked him a lot because he was just always on the top 10 because he was great.
Yeah, and what's crazy is for how he's probably a top 10 Pirate of all time in my opinion, and he's an even better person. So shout out to Andrew McCutchen. And I also need to shout out Joey Bart, who we traded for from, I believe, the Giants. Comes in, homers, like his first game as a Pirate. He's batting .375 right now. Only played 2 games, has 8 at bats, but still, dude. I mean, that's still.
So he's 3 for 8.
Yeah, that's pretty good though.
Okay.
That's better than what I could do. But
yeah.
anyway, let's go Bucks, man. I'm excited. It's a great time to be alive. Pitt got screwed. They let me down. Pitt football sucks. The Steelers suck. The Penguins are they're not dead anymore. They're going to be dead here in about a week. But baseball's back, baby.
I love baseball. I'm having fun watching baseball. I was like not too optimistic going into this season. I was like, after last season's season for the Guardians, I was like, man, but yeah.
I'm signing off.
All right,
Yeah,
Chris.
Chris has prior engagements. We enjoy having you here,
getting
Chris.
engaged.
That'd be a twist.
All right, I'll see y'all later.
Wait, no.
Chris.
Just move. Why don't you move over to that
gonna move
chair
over
so
to
we
my-
can
my
have
mic,
all
yeah.
3 have our own mics.
Yeah.
So,
That'd be smarter.
can we talk
Yeah.
about this? Can we talk about Mizuhara?
I don't know who that is.
That's Ohtani's interpreter.
Oh,
we
yeah,
can
yeah,
talk
yeah.
about Ippei. I was
Yeah,
gonna,
yeah.
because the Ippei news came out as I was writing the script earlier. I did want to mention pitching injuries first because of how bizarre that has been. In the spin, I'm just remembering names off the top of my head because of how many injuries there have been. Shane Bieber, obviously.
Yeah.
Spencer Strider, Framber Valdez. The number of pitching injuries right now is insane, and there's no one reason. That's the issue, too. I believe, just off the top of my head, the Astros have an entire rotation on the injury
That's
list.
crazy. I
What?
asked you like,
Yeah.
why are they so bad right
Yeah,
now?
that's why.
That makes sense.
The Dodgers, I believe, have either 5 or 6. I'm not sure, counting Kershaw, how many they have. The Rays have a few. The Marlins are detonating from the inside. They have 4. It's falling apart. And the worst part of it is we have the MLBPA on one side. They issued a statement saying, hey, the pitch clock's doing this. It's 100% the pitch clock. Of course, MLB is going to come back with, hey, no, it's not. We did our studies. First off, this is year 2 of the pitch clock in the major leagues. You cannot say it's not the pitch clock. The pitch clock could very much be doing an effect. The other part of it is velo increasing over the past few years could be part of it. We don't know. We don't know how to progress here from all these injuries. I don't know what to do. Like, it's insane how many injuries there are.
Yeah. So you think? So I mean, I did see that people were saying it was because of pitch clock and those changed rules. Do you think that? I mean, I don't know. I mean, sometimes a lot of injuries just happen sometimes, and it's
True.
just like coincidence. But you can point to, hey, this rule changed, and it like kind of drastically changes how pitchers have to pitch.
Yeah, I definitely
Yeah.
put part of it down to that. Another part that I've seen pitchers saying is we removed sticky stuff like 2 years ago, like drastically removed it.
Yeah.
So pitchers having to grip the ball tighter in different ways, changing how they throw. I've seen pitchers say that could definitely be affecting it too. The pitchers themselves are saying the pitch clock and the sticky stuff is definitely in effect. They also don't want to say velo because that's going to hurt them in the future in getting paid, but I would say it'd be a combination of those 3 things. Sticky stuff, then pitch clock, then this constant velo increase we've had for about 10 years now.
Then the
Yeah.
other thing, I saw somebody mention this, and I was actually thinking about it, and it kind of makes sense. So, like, as a pitcher, you don't have to exactly be the strongest guy. You gotta be like loose enough to like get spin on the ball and all that stuff. Like, the idea that like some pitchers are like actually like lifting too much rather than like focusing on stretching. Obviously I'm not in a clubhouse, so I don't know how that goes, but I'm sure at least one of the 30 teams that could be part of it.
At a minimum, something needs changed.
For sure.
Yeah, well, I also think, I mean, these rule changes, the pitch clock and getting rid of sticky stuff, I mean, do you guys agree that has made a better product of baseball? I think the pitch clock has made baseball a lot better.
Absolutely.
I mean, sticky stuff, I mean, I don't really care. I mean, it's making it easier for hitters to hit, which, I mean, makes for a more exciting game. It does stink that there are more injuries, but I think it probably will even out over time when pitchers get used to this pitch clock, and I think it's just like a necessary thing. If that is the reason for the injuries, I don't think it's reason to be like we should get rid of this pitch clock.
You could add a second or two back onto it. It wouldn't be the end of the world.
well, you say that. Tell that to the MLB in their negotiations.
See, this is what I hate. This is what I really hate. That everything's driven towards. Well, the pitch clock's a great idea because it does make baseball much easier to watch. But like just the fact that everything's so driven towards offenses, and I think I talked about this 2 or 3 weeks ago, but I don't know. Something needs to change because if we have some of the best pitchers of our day blowing at their arms every year, like it's inevitable that it happens. But like
It's not sustainable at all.
yeah, it's gonna be bad for their game.
I will say, to the common baseball fan, I can agree. Pitch clock, huge game. Even as a big baseball fan, I can agree. It sped the games up and made it more watchable. There's still something beautiful about a pitcher going out and just dominating. Like, you go out, you throw a no-hitter. You, on the beyond rare occasion, throw a perfect game. That's still the most beautiful thing to watch. Even more than, sure, you can watch somebody go out and hit home runs all day. You can watch batting practice or home run derby before that. Like, pitchers need to stay healthy. And one solution I have seen for the tack stuff, at least, pre-tacked balls. Remove any chance of any sticky tack, anything pitchers can use, like that little bag they got behind the mound to make their hands stickier. I don't even know what it is. I probably should know that. But one thing I've seen is they use
rosin?
rosin. Yeah, that's what it is. They use like pre-tacked balls in Japan, I believe, something that has come up from the MLBPA side, obviously not from the MLB. And that's another thing that the MLB and the MLBPA need to talk and need to work together. And it's just not happening. We need it to happen for this to stop, and I don't know how else to make it work.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't trying to say with my point that like it's probably a better product that I don't like, because I mean, I love seeing a good pitcher pitch.
I get what you're
Tristan
saying.
McKenzie is last season or 2 seasons ago when he had those 2 starts where he was like amazing. You remember?
It's 2 seasons ago, yeah.
Yeah, that made me like really, really like Tristan McKenzie, and I still like him a lot. Sadly, he's kind of, I don't know if he's part of that injury thing. He does have some problems right now.
We're hoping
his
it's
velo dropped
short-term,
by like 4 miles an hour.
Yeah,
and then he pitched well his last start against the White Sox, but again, it is the White Sox, and they have 2 wins.
We will see
So,
how he does
who
against
knows?
the Yankees this weekend. That'll be a big test there.
If he does bad against them, then it might be time to get TJ. Sadly.
The big question is, what can be done about this? We don't know, and that's where the issue falls to. We don't know how to fix this. We don't know how to address it. And we can, as Tom mentioned, we can bring up Mr. Ippei Mizuhara. So about 2 p.m. today, the news broke about all the statements and everything coming out. So after we set up what all we're going to talk about, and so I got a number of tweets lined up here and information from the report, and this is the best summary tweet I found. Ippei Mizuhara allegedly placed 19,000 wagers between December 2021 and January 2024, according to the Department of Justice. Average bet amount was $12,800. He won $142 million worth of bets while losing $182 million, meaning he lost $40 million worth on bets. The Department of Justice confirmed he never bet on any baseball games. Initial thoughts and reactions there, because that's just a lot to take in.
I was like trying to think in my head, how could I figure out how many bets that is per day? Because that has to be
a lot.
That's like that seems like it's like, I don't know, in 3 years, 19,000 years, 365 days. It's like 900 days, about like 900
About
1,000.
1,000, yeah.
Jeez.
I think Tom might be doing.
So
quick
that's
math
like
here.
that's like what 190 bets a day.
It's a lot. It's
That's
a lot
insane.
of bets.
That like
Not to mention
I don't know.
the average.
Did you mention that he stole the 16
Yeah,
million?
so that was up next. So
Yeah.
also the average bet being 12,800. He had bets as small as $10. He had bets as big as $160,000. So it makes sense
Man.
how he lost $40 million.
Just-
Unless I'm stupid, and I may be. It's about 25 bets a day.
Holy, that's a lot of bets.
Yeah.
That is an absurd amount of bets. Yeah,
Just
and so
Addict, yeah.
part of this statement coming out,
No, he's committed.
he is committed. So
That's a driven guy right there.
there was a lot of discussion, obviously, when this news broke. He's making bets for Shohei and all that kind of thing.
Yeah,
It's common
no.
around baseball that interpreters have access to bank accounts. Interpreters will handle, like, if a player needs to pay, like, for a bus or something, like something on the road, something they need at a hotel, interpreter will handle it. So they have access to a bank account, and interpreter knows everything he needs to know for that. What Ippei did, and I got to give him credit, he got Shohei's trust, and he was able to do this. He
Yeah.
called bank accounts in Japan as Shohei, pretending to be Shohei Ohtani, to approve wire transfers so he could continue betting. He stole about $16 million worth from Shohei to make these bets. Like, it's awful.
Yeah.
I'll give him credit. It's impressive. He bet $100-some billion, or million.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money.
I mean, part of me just like feels bad because like
Yeah.
obviously he is like severely addicted to gambling.
Bad.
And
Committed.
addiction is just like the worst thing in the world.
No, he's committed.
He is committed. There were
Yeah,
two,
he was very committed to being addicted to gambling.
There were two messages, I believe, from Text Exchange they acquired. On about November 14th, 2022, Ippei messaged the bookmaker, so the man he was illegally gambling through, stating, quote, "I'm terrible at this sport betting thing, huh? Lol. Any chance you can bump me again? As you know, you don't have to worry about me not paying." Followed by about December 9th of 22, Ippei messaged the bookmaker saying, "Can you bump me last 200? I swear on my mom this will be the last ask before I pay it off once I get back to the States. Sorry
Wow.
for keep on asking." To which the bookie replies, "No problem, done, bud. Merry Christmas."
Jeez.
So this was a long relationship. They went back and forth a ton. He spent millions on an illegal bookie.
yeah,
There's just so much to think about
I
here.
just feel really bad for Shohei.
Yeah.
It's just a non-sanctioned bookie. There's nothing illegal.
Oh, I
with
thought it was
gambling.
illegal too.
No, I'm just
Okay.
I'm,
I
messing,
had
I'm,
that
me-
wrong.
I'm messing around. I'm kidding.
I like,
Poor
wait, what?
Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah, no, and it.
Yeah.
So
And
he broke
hope-
Shohei's trust. That
I hope
sucks.
because of this that this is a huge story that like the MLBPA and even the MLB can like help out these foreign players who just don't really
Mm-hmm.
know what is going on with their money and like put their trust into other people and don't. I think some players might not even really realize how much money they like. I don't know. I just hope that the MLBPA can put something in place where these players can't get taken advantage of because a lot of them are like so young. Like Shohei Ohtani, he stayed in Japan for a while, but a lot of these guys like come from like Central America, like, and they're like so young, and then they get signed by these MLB teams, and that's just like they just like follow whatever the MLB and whatever. Like, yeah, I hope they can put something in place that protects players from getting taken advantage of like this. Because I mean, Shohei Ohtani will be fine. But there are a lot of players.
Absolutely.
There are a lot of players who don't make it to the
No.
the MLB, and they're not going to be fine, and
No.
they get screwed over by just terrible people who like to take advantage of others. And yeah,
I'm not
I'm
gonna.
glad they caught it. I'm glad they caught him.
Very glad it got caught. I'm not gonna come out and say, "Hey, let's force everybody to learn English to get rid of an language barrier problem," because that is continued to be an issue in the past few
Yeah,
weeks.
I think players are learning. Though.
They are
players
learning.
try
No,
their
like
hardest to learn English.
Shohei knows it. He
Yeah.
uses an interpreter mostly for interactions with like the media,
Yeah,
which I don't know if you guys saw what happened with his first Dodgers home run because that was a whole kerfuffle.
someone I don't know.
Yeah,
Someone
so-
wanted to like sell it or whatever. Or
So
something.
kind of. So the first home run happens. Shohei gets the ball. The interpreter, as they're talking to the media, says Shohei he met the person, he got the ball from them. Immediately there were native Japanese speakers online saying, hey, that's not a good translation. What's happening? And we see more and more of the story develop. At the end of the story, as far as we can tell what the exact story happened was, wife in a couple catches the ball. They take the wife and the husband back like somewhere. They separate the wife from the husband, which first off is just wrong on every degree.
Weird.
They knew what she would do.
It's
Weird
just
behavior.
wrong on every degree. So they separate the wife from the husband. They say, hey, give us this ball or we're not going to certify it. Basically, you have to have an MLB official there ready to certify the ball for if it's like a meaningful hit, like Pujols' 700th home run. Like there were people waiting there, waiting to certify the ball, just like they had someone waiting for Shohei's first ball. Because, again, it would have been a lot at auction. So they threaten immediately, we're not going to certify this. You need to give us this ball. So they separate the two. They get the ball from her because she's been separated from her husband. They're threatening her like, you need to give us this ball or you're getting nothing out of this.
It's a scary situation.
Extremely scary. And this is all slowly coming out afterwards. As far as I know, nothing has been done to make the situation right either, which makes it worse unless it happened quietly, which, to be fair, it could have. Like, I'm not putting that past it. But they separate this wife. They take the ball. Shohei never met this woman, like his translator said. They never interacted once in person. So immediately you have the mistranslation leading to this.
Yeah.
So it's almost good the mistranslation happened to make sure the story got out, but at the same time, it's another issue of translators and like the language barriers in baseball. It's not something that I can think of a fix for. I don't think there is a fix for it.
Yeah.
Just like pitching earlier, there's no path here. Like, well, pitching there could be a path with work on figuring out what it is, but here it's just a bad situation for the Dodgers, and it just keeps bubbling up against Shohei, and it sucks because he is right now the greatest player in baseball.
Yeah.
He is MLB's biggest icon worldwide, and it just keeps happening, and it's so awful. It keeps happening to this guy. I don't know that I can feel bad for a guy who has $700 million on the way. If I can, then I will.
And is at the Dodgers. Yeah, that's typical Dodger behavior, honestly. I'm not surprised.
Feels bad.
Guardians would never do that.
I hope
They're with
not.
the Pirates because we're broke.
That's true. Hey, you made some good extensions.
We're winning the World Series.
Yeah.
Extend Stephen Kwan, please. Extend Stephen
Yes.
Kwan.
I don't know. I think players are trying to learn. Like
They are, yeah.
I saw the other day, Ellie De La Cruz did his first English interview.
That was
I did not
cool
see
to
that.
see.
That's awesome.
That was cool
Which
to see.
it's awesome that players are trying to learn English. I mean, I don't want to say they should, but I mean it's nice
It would
to
certainly
see.
cut down on these issues, which
Yeah.
is unfortunate.
But I also think players
yeah.
definitely should have the right to an interpreter because things can get misconstrued very easily.
Absolutely.
I saw something that was pretty funny. Pete Rose was like, "I wish I had an interpreter."
He did say that.
That's
That
funny.
was so
He did.
funny. That was so
That,
funny.
that was a heck of a comment from
That's
Pete.
really
Pete,
funny.
Have
Pete
you
Rose
guys-
is quite a man.
Have you guys seen what he's written on baseballs for fans?
I have not. What is
No.
he?
That's crazy. He says stuff like that. And he's like, and then he's obviously like, I didn't cheat. And then I saw one. It's legit. Swear to God. He's like, I wish I shot Bin Laden.
I did see that.
Pete Rose is
I
an
was very
American
confused by
hero.
that.
Yeah, he was my dad's favorite player.
Pete Rose is
He should,
quite a man.
He should be in the Hall of Fame.
Yep.
He should be. He should.
Put him
They-
in before he
Oh,
is.
don't get me
passed
started
away.
on Hall of Fame ballots. That I will.
Yeah.
Ugh. I think we're good there on
Yeah.
baseball and the news. I'd go over standings, but we're 2 weeks into baseball. and
Yeah.
it's chaos
We
right
could
now.
talk about that come September.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For the NFL, we got not much here going on. Obviously, we got
Yeah.
we got the draft coming up soon.
Wayne Ruby will be drafted.
I hope our
Braxton
very
Plum,
own Mount
please.
Union's Wayne Ruby Jr. We can hope he gets drafted. He could be the third Mount Union wide receiver in the NFL to make it big, and
Yes.
we certainly hope so.
Josh Miller. Chris isn't here. He would back me up on that. He played
Well,
tight end.
There not much news for the NFL. Earlier, I believe it was earlier today or late last. I think it was earlier today when I woke up to the news. Nick Chubb has gone through renegotiation to ensure he stays on the Browns this year. They reduced his salary cap hit from $15.85 million down to $6.275 million. Gives him the opportunity to earn up to $12.2 million in performance level bonuses. I don't know how the cap works, and I'm not going to begin to try and understand how the cap works. I just know they work magic there. So he lowers his official salary from $11.775 million down, ensures he stays with the Browns this year. do we think this is a step towards him staying with them long term with the chaos of the running back market?
I mean, he is definitely like the top tier of running backs. I think like the tier below, like him and like Christian McCaffrey and Saquon Barkley maybe is
When
like
Saquon's healthy, I'd say yes.
yeah, when Saquon is healthy, but that's if he's healthy.
Yeah.
I think he's definitely like worth keeping long term. I mean, it
Absolutely.
really stunk his injury last season. I'm not a Browns fan, but I mean, it just really stunk to see because he's a awesome player to watch. Like, he just runs the ball so well. I don't know if he'll stay long term. I hope he can stay healthy this year. That's what I hope for Nick Chubb.
Tom, you are the Pittsburgh fan, so I feel like you're a little sad he's making sure to stay this year. But just on the football level, what are you thinking?
I want to beat the best of the best.
I can respect that.
I
can respect that.
I don't care. I want to be the best of the best. Chubb's a good player. Minka Fitzpatrick did not intentionally try to hurt him.
Yeah.
I've watched that replay so many times. He did not intentionally. do
Yeah.
that.
No,
It
just
didn't
a
happen.
unfortunate
That
injury.
it was such a bad play
And
every way.
I put the blame, part of this, back on the way they're changing the rules of the game. Do you know how much more this is going to happen now with the hip drop?
The hip
being
drop
banned?
tackle. Yeah, we can't talk about that.
The hip-
NFL
hip-
banning the hip drop tackle.
Hip drop. I think it came out and we did talk about it on a
Okay.
previous episode, but we could bring it up a little bit
Yeah.
right now. Like that is the type of play that'll keep happening. And you know what? It sucks because the offensive player is going to get screwed. He's going to lose a year. The defensive player is going to get suspended. Like, it sucks. And there's nothing they can do because almost all the people making those freaking rules have never played a down of football in their life.
Nope.
It's a freaking joke. Sorry, I get mad about this.
That's fair.
I think the NFL's ruining football. I may stick to high school ball and D3 ball.
I can't blame you.
I'm very
What about
hurt.
What about D1?
12-team
playoff.
See,
We got a 12-team playoff.
We do have that next year.
I'm pretty excited for that. I don't know. NIL, the way, like, I wish it was just regulated. Like, I wish they had like a standard to go
Yeah.
by completely.
If
That's
the
what
NCAA
bothers
would
me.
have done this years ago,
It
would
wouldn't
be
be an
regulated
issue.
by now. But
And Saban would still be coaching.
I don't know.
I don't know about that one.
I'm just kidding.
It was his time.
At the end of the day, Nick Chubb is staying with the Browns. We'll see if he stays longer, but at the end of the day, we hope he's healthy. That's the hope for football.
Yeah.
I don't know that we really talk about it much, but I will say, also earlier news breaking, O.J. Simpson has passed away from
Yeah.
cancer.
I don't even like. It's a really weird thing.
It is,
because
'cause-
none of us were alive during any
No,
of his
not
stuff.
one of us.
He did. it.
And
All right, I didn't want to bring that up at all. not that, Tom.
What is that? All right. So OJ was one of the greatest running backs of all
He was.
time.
That's what I wanted to bring up.
What does everybody know him for, though?
That's true.
yeah,
Listen. I hope he rode off into the sunset in his white Bronco. I mean, it's just
At the end of the day, he was a spectacular football player. He's just another man who has passed away from cancer, and that sucks every way possible.
yeah. I obviously nobody should suffer from cancer. I
No.
lost somebody close to me from cancer, but
No, it's awful.
it's
It is meaningful.
literally hell.
Yeah, it's meaningful because of who he was as a football player. He was very good. Everything else aside, it is the death of a great football player, so it's always unfortunate to see.
Officer Nordberg. You guys,
it's so weird.
do you guys get
because-
that?
I do.
No.
Naked Gun, baby. Let's
Oh,
go.
I haven't seen that.
Will, there's 3 of them. They're 3 of the funniest movies
They're
ever
making a
made.
remake.
Oh, yeah.
I did see that.
That'll be a weird remake.
I don't
I
know.
wonder
It's
when
just-
it's coming out.
It's really weird because like O.J. Simpson, like one of the most famous or infamous people in U.S.
Yeah.
history, and it's like I don't know, it's just really weird.
People who don't follow him know who, or follow sports.
Have
know
any of
who
you
he
guys
is.
watched the documentary
I
O.J.
have
Made in
not.
America?
I may need to
I
watch
started
now.
it, but I never like actually watched it. I
Mm.
might have to go through and like
Yeah.
actually watch it. Because I mean, even like I don't know, he was kind of a controversial person even in college. Because I watched the first episode and it was about his time like at USC, and he had controversies there too. Which,
He's
yeah,
very,
he was just
a
he was just
controversial man.
he was just always famous. Crazy, yeah. I don't know. It's really weird because one of the most famous people in American history for plenty of reasons.
Plenty. At the end of the day,
Let's not sugarcoat it, guys.
all right. Well,
Come on.
at the end of the day,
I'm
he is another man who has passed away from an unfortunate disease.
Yeah.
We wish him and his family well. We hope they're all doing all right. We can bounce over to you first,
Okay.
Will. You could spend a day with any athlete. Who would it be and why?
I know who I'm not saying.
Spend
One
a day with
athlete.
any athlete.
One athlete.
Alive or dead or like all time or like
All alive, dead, all
Um,
time. Who
okay.
are you spending a day with?
I'm not gonna brag. I maybe would say Bill Walton, but I already met him, so I'm not gonna
Alright.
say Bill Walton.
I'm gonna need to ask who Bill Owen is.
Bill Walton.
Walton. I don't know.
You don't know who Bill Walton
Who's
is?
Bill Walton.
Oh my gosh, one of the best
I am-
NBA players ever.
I'm
of the best
not a
college
historical man.
basketball
Give
players
me-
ever.
Okay, that basketball. That's why I don't know who he is.
Well, he had Hall of Famer,
Okay, well,
MVP, played in the 70s.
He's above
that's
average.
why I'm not a big
He's a Hall of
basketball guy,
Famer.
so Hall of
I
Famer.
know
Above
that's a
average.
joke. He's above average.
He's above
in the
average.
Hall
That
of
makes him.
Fame.
He's not
Yeah,
wrong.
It's a
All right,
Whatever.
Who are you spending the day with?
all right. Will
I hate to be chalk and like say the obvious answer, but
LeBron.
it is LeBron James.
That's fair.
He's
I-
from
That's
Akron.
fair.
I grew up. He was like, he. I don't know. I have to pick LeBron. He
That's
is
fair.
the greatest athlete I've ever seen play any sport. He's from my city. He gave Cleveland a championship. Yeah, I don't know. It's LeBron. I wish I could say somebody else, but I can't. not that I don't
No,
love LeBron.
no,
I'm
that's
not.
fair,
I'm not
that's
saying
fair.
that because
It-
I don't. But I just it's
LeBron is
such an
huge.
obvious choice that I hate giving the obvious choice. But
No,
it's
We're an hour and
Yeah,
20 minutes
LeBron.
south of Cleveland. Like it's safe to say LeBron.
yeah.
Tom, who are you thinking?
OJ. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm
O.J.
so
Mayo?
sorry to
Uh,
anyone listening to
You
this.
talking about
I'm
O.J.
so sorry.
Mayo?
I'm talking about orange juice.
Oh,
So sorry.
Orenthal, James, orange juice. I don't. I guys, I'm sorry. I really
Don't
am.
know.
It's a shame why he passed away. But anyway, I don't know. This one's tough for me. I'm obviously a football guy before I'm anything else. So but I love hockey too. And for that, I can't come up with a definitive one. So I'm gonna give one for football and
That's fair.
hockey. For football, all time, probably me, Joe Green.
Okay.
For my teams, Jason Kelsey, if I can meet anybody in the NFL, would be that'd be a
Yeah.
cool one.
And the Kelsey brothers have that podcast. It's always fun to listen to. They always have fun.
Yeah,
They
there's
seem like
that.
great people.
There's but also Peyton Manning,
Yeah.
or Brady, really any legend would be cool. But for hockey, and this may actually end up being my pick. It came down between Sidney Crosby and Mario Lemieux. I think I would want to meet Lemieux the most.
Really, over Crosby.
Yeah, well, I think they're the two. They're two of the three greatest players of all time. I think it's Gretzky, Lemieux, and Crosby. I mean, both of them would be really cool. I think the thing so Crosby's ensured that the Penguins will have Pittsburgh will have hockey for at least the next 25 years. But Lemieux literally saved that franchise and brought it back from nearly being dead multiple times. So he beat cancer. He had back issues, came back, won the scoring title after winning 2 Stanley Cups already. Literally kept the team in Pittsburgh through playing. Then he came back. He bought the team. He bought the team so they wouldn't move to Kansas City. And that's what I get emotional thinking about sometimes because if he was never a Penguin, I wouldn't know anything about hockey. I wouldn't care. And I love hockey. So he saved my franchise so many times, and what he's all on top of that, the philanthropy he's done for Pittsburgh with the Mario Lemieux Foundation is just it's second to none. So he's one of the greatest hockey players ever, and he's an even better person. So
I didn't know all that much about him, so now I definitely understand why you'd say
Yeah,
him
I
over
didn't know that.
Sidney. No, I didn't know
Yeah.
that at all. That's awesome.
yeah, beat cancer, had back surgeries, came back, and was still one of the best of all time. He's one of the only a couple players ever to get the Hall of the 3-year mandatory waiting period for the Hall of Fame waived.
He got it waived.
Yeah, he got it waived and got
I did not know
inducted
that.
immediately. And then 5 years after that, he came back and helped the Penguins make a couple more playoff runs.
wow.
That's just shoving it in the Hall's face at that point.
Yeah.
you put me in here now. Let me go do a little bit more.
He did that after he so the Penguins owed him 25 to 30 million, something like that, maybe even more. And like residual pay from like contracts, and they couldn't afford to pay him, so they made a deal like I'll buy the team so he can stay here. I'm like
That's beautiful.
That like I'm getting emotional thinking about it. Like that's what you want every guy on your team to be like. Not even in terms of like talent, just like the type of person. Like we'll do whatever we can for the city. Like that's what's up. So probably I'd say Mario Lemieux for sure.
Okay, I want to change my answer.
You want to change your answer?
Yes. Ricky Henderson.
Good pick.
Good pick.
I've heard so many Ricky Henderson stories. He is, I don't know. I would just love to meet Ricky Henderson. I think he is, honestly, I think he is maybe the best baseball player ever. Jeff Pearlman said he's the best baseball player ever.
That's a fun debate.
Sports Illustrated, old Sports Illustrated writer when they were good.
Mm-hmm.
He said that he thinks Ricky Henderson is the best baseball player ever. I don't know, but I like Ricky Henderson a lot. I would just love to talk to him. I think that'd be funny. I'd like to talk to him. It'd be funny.
That's what I was going to bring up when I said my name, because the GOAT debate is across every single sport, and it's hard to determine for football and baseball because you will always get arguments.
Yeah.
Hockey, it's Gretzky. Hockey is the one of the few where it's defined.
In terms of pure talent, it was Lemieux. Lemieux beat cancer. He also started playing 6 years later.
Fair.
He beat cancer. He came back from multiple back surgeries. If he was healthy, all right, Gretzky also had a better cast around him in Edmonton. I'm just saying, like people.
I
don't know
think there's
hockey,
any
so I can't
goats. I
comment,
think goats
so
might
then-
not exist.
I've started to think like this. Like, there's no defined GOAT in any one thing because
That's how I like to think about basketball. Like, if you look at every decade of basketball, there is a best player of each decade, and I like thinking about that. I hate the GOAT debate. It really annoys me.
It's also difficult because of when they played in each era.
Yeah.
So hockey traditionally was, you could get away with a lot more in terms of it was harder to play offense because defenders could do almost whatever they wanted to, and it wasn't really called. But the goalies' pads were barely bigger than their legs. Now they're much bigger. They've gotten smaller again, but goalies are also outside of Patrick Waugh and Marty Brodeur in the late 90s and early 2000s. It's just not really comparable. So that's also part of my reasoning why. Because I try and think about this, where Sid would, Crosby would rank all time.
Mm-hmm.
That's part of my argument. There may be a chance that he's the greatest hockey player of all time.
Okay.
Because just based off of how much the games have changed, and just the way it's enforced. So that's another thing. And you could take that back to the MJ LeBron debate. Just the way the game's played now is so different than what it was.
That's the issue with most GOATs debates. Just different play styles, different everything.
Yeah, I don't know.
And that's why I did want to bring it up, because I think I'm picking the one where there is truly a GOAT. The one man who was able to have betting odds where it's him or the field. I'd love to spend a day with Tiger Woods.
Whoa, I thought you were going Brady. All right, dude.
I would spend a day with Tiger Woods in a heartbeat. That dude has it's not the same level, but he has pushed through a ton of adversity and injuries and everything.
Yeah, he doesn't quit, especially
he has not quit
after he cheated on his wife.
Well, you guys are killing me.
Dylan,
So
it's all in good fun, brother.
He's in the Masters. He's competing in the Masters again. He won in 2019 after fighting back, after surgeries, after everything. He was so good. There was bets. It was the field or him.
Wow.
No one in history has ever had that happen before. And I'd love to spend a day with him, straight up. Just hear from him. I don't golf. Talking to that man would be everything to me.
You might go away and love golf.
I would love golf, probably. I have to assume. I'll turn on the Masters later today purely because he's in it, because of how huge he has been for sports.
Yeah, I've never I'm not a golf fan, but every time I talk to people who like golf, I don't know if I've ever met a single person who says Tiger Woods isn't their favorite golfer.
Yeah, because
everybody loves him. Yeah.
There's no reason
That's
not to
a good
love
answer.
him. I think one of my favorite clips I've seen not too long ago was him talking with, I want to say he was talking with Jordan Spieth. Spieth's just asking, your kid outdrive you yet? And he's like, yeah, he did the other day. So we may have a new Tiger Woods soon enough.
Oh, man. Yeah.
He was applying to join the tour soon. So
how old is his Charlie Woods, right?
Yeah.
How old is he?
I think he's still under 18.
16.
Yeah, and
16
he was,
or
and
so?
he had a right to apply to the official tour too. So
Wow.
Tom's checking, but yeah, spending a day with Tiger Woods. I'm not a golf guy, but that would be awesome to me.
14.
14, and he has the right to apply to the tour right now, and he might get it. So that's awesome in every way. I'd say Tiger Woods. Gentlemen, I thank you guys for spending time here. I think we may have had an interesting end of the podcast, but thank you guys. It's fine.
Sometimes
it's fine.
Like my mom's told me forever, sometimes I don't think before I speak. But it's usually funny, so it's all right.
All right. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you to anyone listening for this next episode of Raider Zone.